I sort of am a lone wolf on the tour, and that I had this mentality that like everyone was against me. Like I would make things up in my head about the nicest guy, and I'd walk away going, he's so full of shit. I don't believe anything.
You were the number one choice for Ryder Cup captain. What does that feel like? I definitely wasn't number one. I was actually number two.
Oh my goodness. Whoa!
I'm gonna come back to that one. Does anyone have $1? Because there's a 75-cent toll. I don't have a single cent on me. Is it cool if I drink this during this thing?
Okay, Keegan. Let's talk TGL for a little bit. What were your impressions of season 1?
I thought season 1 was amazing. Really fun and exciting, and our team is super talented, but no excuse for us to not win a match last year. We were all really, really bummed out about that.
You took more shots in the simulator than any other TGL player. Why is that?
I was really surprised with how nervous I was. You prepare and you practice at your job, but in a totally different way. And so like part of the unknown is uncomfortable. And practiced my whole life how far a 9-iron goes off grass. I didn't know what that shot did in the simulator. I just wanted to make sure that I was where I needed to be during competition night. I just felt an obligation to be prepared.
My oldest is 7, was rooting for the Bay today. I was like, what are you rooting for the Bay for? He said, well, they're the best team. So, I mean.
The mindset into next season is we have to be better. We have to win matches. I don't think anyone realized just how important each match was. We want to win the whole thing.
We're gonna play a little game called the number ones.
Let's see. What's your number one go-to meal or snack before a tournament? I love peanut butter pretzels are my favorite. What's the number one thing you do to unwind after a long day? I love listening to Boston sports radio. I always feel no matter where I am in the world, if I can listen to that, it calms me down. I feel like I'm back home. What's the number one city you always look forward to visiting and why? I love going to New York City. I just love, like we used to play the playoffs there, we'd stay in the city, and that was always really, really great. What's the number one song that always gets you pumped up before golf? That's the last thing I need is to get pumped up before golf, but I love Mumford & Sons, I love Rage Against the Machine, Noah Kahan. I love a wide variety of music. What's the number one thing you can do with downtime on the road? Anything to get your mind off of golf. Going to a movie is always great. That takes up a good chunk of the afternoon. I like to watch shows I've already seen, so I can sort of be like on my phone, checked out. I like watching The Sopranos, Succession. I've seen them all, but I love doing that. What's the number one thing you're currently working on or excited about for the future? I'm always working on my short game, trying to get better around the greens, chipping, putting, so that's a continuous thing throughout my career and throughout the year. You were the number one choice for Ryder Cup captain. What does that feel like? I definitely wasn't number one. I was actually number 2. So I don't know if this question's accurate, but it felt great. I was worried until I spoke to the guys that were going to be on the team, and it's a great feeling that they wanted me to play that job. If you had a number one do-over in your career, what would it be? The Sony Open 2 years ago, I needed to make birdie to win the tournament, and I didn't hit it the way I wanted to. And if I could have any shot over, I would have that one over. What's the number one thing you would want to be doing if you weren't a professional golfer? Geez. My favorite thing would be to work for the Patriots some way, or work for a Boston sports team where I could sort of be on the inside, and that's my passion outside of golf.
Before a round, I've always heard people say they like to pick a small target. Some guys would pick a window in that house and go, I want to hit it at that. I've never liked that. So if this was my fairway, I like to see the entire fairway.
You are winning PGA Tour events. You are the Ryder Cup captain, and then you're trying to be a great dad to Logan and Cooper. Is this the busiest time in your life?
Definitely. There hasn't been many people in my position, ever. No Ryder Cup captains really ever had a young family. They're mostly older. It's strange, I can't really call anybody or talk to anybody about what to do, so we're all sort of learning this on the fly as we go. And you know, it's a heavy burden, but all we want to do is just put the guys in the best position to succeed and play well. And you know, we're going to do the best we can to do that.
If I'm playing horrifically, which happens, and I cannot hit the ball, I have two thoughts that I have. I just try to feel a little bit more knee bend. Or when I bring it back, that I just open the face just a little bit. And that was pretty good. Guys have any questions?
You ever hear any of the guys like pretend like you're not there and they're like talking like, oh, he should make the team?
We all know who the best players are. We don't care about the rankings say, the golf ball doesn't care that I'm from New England. The golf ball doesn't care that I went to college and down the road. So the players, same thing. They want the best, whether they play on the tour, whether they play on live, whether they're the captain. We're going to put the best ball on the course. We got some big decisions ahead of us here, but we've still got a long way to go. Thank you, guys.
What's it like being home now?
When we had kids, I just had this itch to come back to New England. I really wanted my family to experience New England summers and be around family. And as one of the only golfers from New England on the PGA Tour, I take a lot of pride in representing this area at a high level.
The kids, are the Boston Bruins, or are they getting a little Panther fever down there?
My oldest is getting a little Panther fever, but my kids live in Florida. And I tell them I used to hate growing up when kids from Boston liked other teams, and I used to get so, and then they'd say, well, my dad was a fan, and I'm like, that shouldn't matter. Now they're doing the same thing. So if he wants to be a Panther fan, I'll allow that, but he still has to be a Bruins fan.
All right, last question, Keegan. If 14-year-old you was watching all this unfold, what do you hope he'd see in the person and golfer you've become?
I think all this would be a pretty big surprise, but also on the same hand, be a bit of a relief, I'm sure, but pretty proud and excited for what's coming next.